Welcome back. The Project for Rural Development is a governmental project, and it's coming up so strong on this segment of the program. As we earlier said in our intro, we will be discussing the problem of rural farming and supporting the farmers in everywhere, and how it may help in solving also another important issue, which is unemployment, but this time in villages, in rural areas, and of course governmental areas. The beneficiaries of this project are 2,000 small-scale farmers that are directly supported by the project in their agricultural activities in every way. The main objective is to improve the life condition of the 4 small-scale rural communities and to increase, of course, their income. And this is supported by several sectors. And we're very delighted to have the project manager here with us, and she's going to give us full detail about that national project and how important is it to support the farmers in rural governmental areas to be able to build on with small projects and that are going to grow into larger ones in the near future. Very delighted to have with us Mrs. Rasha Moghazy, project manager. Good morning, Ms. Moghazy.
Good morning. Good morning, Ms. Rasha. First,
and I guess we're going to go to a quick report.
Yes,
first.
Actually, we have a report about the event. Yes,
right, under auspices of the Ministry of Agriculture and the Italian organization, the COSPE. Conference was titled "Small Farmers in Action." The project "Small Farmers in Action" aims at supporting small-scale farmers in Egypt, and we have with us our Nile TV correspondent Amir Patwali. She's going to file in this report.
Of the Ministry of Agriculture and the Italian organization COSPE, a conference was held entitled "Small Farmers in Action." The project Small Farmers in Action aims at increasing the lifestyle sustainability of the poor rural communities in the interested areas through the improvement of local resources access and use.
This event, as I understand, is being organized by COSPE, which is one of the NGOs, non-governmental organizations involved in the Support to Rural Development Program. They are working in Fayoum and Minya to help small farmers to improve their incomes, to generate employment through improvements in the irrigation systems and in good agricultural practices, which means providing training, providing demonstrations on how to, for example, grow wheat according to modern practices through better irrigation systems, better use of fertilizer, reduced use of fertilizer, and use of compost instead of fertilizer. These are the sort of activities which COSPE has been involved in, and principally through their farmer field schools, where they group together probably around 25 farmers, and they have a session every week on the production of a certain crop, for example wheat. So they start at the beginning of the season, how are you going to cultivate the land, how many seeds you need per fadan, how are you going to plant it, how are you going to irrigate it, how are you going to control any pests and diseases, and how are you going to harvest it. And the farmers all participate. It's very much a participatory system, and it's very successful. And as a result of this project, which is it's a pilot scheme, it's just working in a few villages in Minya and Fayoum, and they have demonstrated that by introducing improved irrigation practices and improved good agricultural practices, you can increase your yields by up to 40%. So this is very important if it could be expanded on a larger scale throughout Egypt, particularly for wheat, because Egypt is the world's largest importer of wheat. Egypt could produce a lot more wheat, and this is some of the results of the project, some of the achievements. Okay, but it's a pilot scheme, and the next step, of course, is to expand onto a bigger area to deal with more farmers, because we're focusing on the small-scale farmers, those farmers who have less than 3 fadans. And some of them have only half a fadan, but it may not be all in one area, maybe in several plots scattered throughout the villages. So we're trying to help the farmers to improve their incomes, to get out of the poverty situation.
COSPI is an Italian organization which was established in 1983 in Florence with the aim to overcome conditions of poverty and social injustice around the world.
Today we are having a final event for our project. It's called Small Farmer in Action Project. We are supporting the small farmers in both governorates in Minya and Fayoum. Today we are having the closing event for the project. We have our farmers attending this event to tell us about their success stories, the lesson learned from the project, because the project is funded from the EU delegation through the Union of Exporters and Importers in Egypt from the Agriculture Ministry. And they are suppose this project is the main idea of the project to fund the small farmers, or to fund the organization, that they have the ability to do it's called the methodology of conditional incentive approach. So those farmers who are applying this conditional incentive, they are attending to us today to tell us about their stories and how that was success for them, and we are trying to promote for a new ideas or methodologies or how for the new practices in agriculture.
The project is active in 4 small peasant villages in the governorates of Fayoum and El Minya. The beneficiaries are 2,000 small-scale farmers, which are directly supported by the project in their agricultural activities. We have learned a lot in this project. We have joined schools in our fields, and we were introduced to new methods and ways in agriculture and fertilization. The main objective is to improve the life conditions of the 4 small-scale rural communities, to increase access to water services for about 300 families, and to achieve a greater efficiency in the cultivation techniques and agriculture in the interested areas. Egyptians are known to be one of the first groups to practice agriculture in the world. Today's conference tackled developing agricultural options for small-scale farmers in order to increase production as well as provide food security. This is Abir Mitwalli reporting for Nile TV.
Welcome back, dear viewers. We've just seen a report about small farmers in action. It was held recently, and with us today is Miss Rasha Moghazy. She was attending this conference, and she's actually the project manager of it. So, Miss Rasha, first tell us more about main aims and main targets of this conference, Small Farmers in Action.
First, this project is funded from the EU delegation, and it's implemented by COSPI. It's an Italian organization here in Egypt, is working since the 98. And our target in the villages of Minya and Fayoum, 2 villages in each governorate, to support those small farmers through one of the methodologies that the EU is implementing. It's called the conditional incentive approach. And this approach it should be for those farmers who's applying the good agricultural practices, that they should have some of the incentives given to them or provided to them through this project.
Right. To our knowledge, it says here that the main project objective is to improve the life condition in general of those farmers on 4 small-scale rural communities. What are those 4 small-scale communities, and what exactly is it being the steps that are being implemented on more or less to be able to reach to your goals?
First, COSPI, this is also COSPI as the organization goals to reach the small sectors, or the small people and the other different sectors in the agriculture and different or any other sector here in Egypt. So we're working with the small farmers here through this project to reach them, to improve their life condition. Like for our project, we used to have some incentive that provided to the women in the villages, to linking them with the portable water, clean water for them, and some of them related to the agricultural part to improve their the way of raising the chicken. Or so it's by the end it's going to be addressed to those women by the end on raising also their children, different lessons that we are giving. Or
so you're raising awareness and you're supporting raising poultry industry, and do you have something on the field of agriculture or something in addition to that?
Yes, for our methodology that we are implementing during this project is called this farmer field schools. We have schools for the farmers. It's actually they are attending weekly basis, and they have those sessions with our agronomists to have the all the practice for the agriculture, like for cultivating wheat with the different methods, the different technology, and by the end of the season they can reach with more productivity from the wheat or from the corn, whatever the product that we are giving them the methodologies or the information to work with it.
So, Ms. Rasha, how do you get the funds for this project?
For this project, it's mainly from the EU delegation.
EU delegation?
Yes, it's one of the biggest programs. It's a grant. Yes, it's a grant that it's according to our agreements with the EU. They had several calls and proposals that it's for Egypt. And so this project was funded directly from the EU delegation to the Ministry of Agriculture. And
to support the small farmers.
Yes, and this ministry is giving this funds. It's around 10 million euro to different organizations to support according to what the EU calls is reaching this in these villages.
To our knowledge, there has been always, even before you thinking or you implementing that project, there has been a problem or an issue concerning access to drinkable water, the pure sanitized water. So if you can tell us what were your aims or what were the steps that you have taken or implemented in your project to be able to resolve that problem and be able to effect some change among the small-scale 300 farmers that you're trying to help and support?
First, it's not very easy. It's not that easy to reach the people first. And even if we are going to reach them, there's difficulties in even to link them with the potable water, with the clean water, because we have different problems here in Egypt. So in these villages, sometimes the water is not clean, even if we are going to link them with the public water. And sometimes this for those families, because we are trying to reach the smallest families in these villages, even those families haven't the proper papers registered their houses, so they can link their houses with the